Welcome to another episode of Marc Hates Your Fucking Existence. I was just looking at the YouTube crap now, and it showed that I had no subscribers and no whatever, which we all know is bullshit. Because, just like I was saying, the whole point of this exercise was to demonstrate that, these garbage aren't ever going to be paying me, and they're fucking idiots when they cause all these problems and then think that, I'm going to do anything they imagine when they cause all the problems, preventing me from doing it. Even then, probably not that I would. But here's a good episode of Red Ice right now. This is an official endorsement of Red Ice, by the way. Hey guys, hey Enrique Lana. And I just found it so goddamn funny. She put up a new video about the Lord of the Rings movie I was talking about how people are just stupid enough to pay $500 million for this garbage. I guess Amazon was. Instead of just paying me. But she was making a video about how they were hiring all these people who had nothing to do with this Norse, which is basically Norse mythology, right? Or based on Norse mythology. I don't watch the Lord of the Rings stuff because, it's like fantasy stuff, and I live in reality, unlike all the other mentally ill on the internet, pretty much. But another reason why I don't ever watch that Lord of the Rings stuff is because, it's just ugly. I mean, it's just, all of it's ugly. Basically, they all just look like shapeshifters, And it was a movie full of just shapeshifters before, but now she's laughing at it, or she has an issue with it because it has all of these diversity hires, the affirmative action types, and I'm pretty sure they put them in the movie because it's a movie full of trolls, and I don't mean like I'm trolling these people. I mean they look like fucking trolls, like they're supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be hobbits or orcs. I actually don't know the story. I've never read the books. Books are like 1,000 pages long of fantasy and delusion. I mean, I read 1,000-page books of like technical matter that actually matter. But I think that's just like the the creator's version of the word troll. Like in other fairy tales, like the Brothers Grimm, I think uses trolls or something like that. That's the German fairy tale stuff. But she's ridiculed.
The new Lord of the Rings series spin-off, The Rings of Power, has been released on Amazon. 25 million people tuned in to watch the first day, thinking it would be like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, but it was far from magical and moving. The writing is weak, it lacks a powerful storyline, and has no soul. It's supposed to tell the story of Sauron's rise to power, but it feels like they are more concerned with making it progressive. Feminist lead? Check. Black and other non-white elves, hobbits, and dwarves? Check. But of course there was no diversity to be found among the orcs. Let's take a look at a few scenes.
Why? Look like a badger. Maybe a fox.
More likely a half-foot.
Half-foot?
Don't care to be seen none, but if you do, watch yourself. Dangerous creatures they are.
Clear and clear.
Oh, we know the Unionites done it instant.
But I'm saying, the point of the book is you're supposed to this stuff don't make sense. They can't. In the name of
Oh dear. It's really been a fortnight already.
It's been a starfall.
And then here you got the
Big one.
How many signs do you need? Ask me. We ought to break camp at this moment. What about the festival?
Let's not do anything rash just yet. More likely we're safer in camp than we are out. How bad is it? Can he migrate?
And, you know, I bring that up because
You saw him. Wouldn't put the weight of a leaf on that leg, much less pull a cart.
Mind your own fire, Mouther.
like I was saying,
I fear so, fair lady.
Durden didn't tell me you were coming.
Durden didn't know.
I've been remiss in not visiting sooner. An oversight for which I am here to humbly ask forgiveness.
You're staying for dinner.
He's leaving.
He's staying.
He's leaving.
He's staying. You ready?
Yes, Mother. I'm ready.
really like disgusting fucking episode.
Blacks, Puerto Ricans, Indians, Iranians, Afro-Latinos, and several other concoctions I don't know about. Please, there are no non-white elves, dwarves, and hobbits. Period. This is European mythology. End of story. The non-white actors mentioned in an interview that diversity was talked about and that they were aware the production was introducing much more diversity, more equal representation to Middle-earth. The woman who played the Black Dwarf Princess that we showed said, "This series is not only a cinematic revolution, but a revolution of Tolkien's work." The Black Elf Man said he was happy to be a disruptor in the series, much like the guy in Star Wars, the black man in Star Wars. They know they don't belong, and they know that they are anti-white. This series was the most expensive TV series ever made, which spent more than $700 million on the first season, including the rights to adapt J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Tolkien was a masterful writer of high fantasy and an academic. Although living in the UK, he was of German stock. His family originated in Eastern Prussia. He died in 1973. J.R.R. Tolkien sold the rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit to United Artists in 1968 for just £100,000 in order to settle a tax bill from his royalties. Yeah. Well, nothing really came of that. The rights were sold to Tolkien Enterprises, a division of the Saul Zaentz Company, a Jewish man, and the first film was released in 1978. Later, the rights ended up in the hands of New Line Cinema, who produced Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. In 2017, Amazon purchased rights to make this cringe TV show, some of the clips we just played for you. The Tolkien estate initially approached Peter Jackson to give input on the series, but then later ignored him. Christopher Tolkien, son of J.R.R. Tolkien, didn't like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings as he thought there was too much action in it and that it was aimed for 15 to 25-year-olds. He didn't think the film did justice to the beauty and intricacy of his father's world building. I disagree. Peter Jackson, I think, did an excellent job. Much better than this crap we just saw. Christopher Tolkien stepped down as chair of the Tolkien estate in 2017 before passing away in 2020. The estate and the Tolkien Trust were originally run by his 4 kids who have all died, so it's in the hands of his grandchildren. Simon Tolkien, a grandson, was the consultant on this Amazon TV series, and apparently he's much happier with this version than Peter Jackson's and says this series does justice to his grandfather's work. He is married to Tracy Steinberg, who is Jewish. I'm sure she had some input on adding diversity into the series to make it less European. Several of the white actors were a bit odd-looking. It's like they just couldn't feature beautiful Europeans. We don't get to see that much anymore. By the way, the Tolkien Trust sued New Line Cinema in 2008, the studio behind the trilogy, claiming that they had not received even 1 penny from the films. I'm not shocked. It was resolved out of court. I think Papa Tolkien would have hated Rings of Power, not just because it has been commercialized, but because it has been politicized and destroyed, subverted by Europhobes.
Yeah, so this was expected, of course. These memes came out before it was even announced, really, that they were going to do it super diverse. I think it was some rumors in the beginning, oh, finally we can break the anti-white, or the white supremacy, rather, in the Lord of the Rings, right? Because there's a long tradition here, really, of all these actors and actresses complaining, right? As you said, one of the stars now, she claimed she'd watched the Lord of the Rings, but it was difficult to watch them because there was so little diversity there. So again, it's all about fine for them to walk all over our European stories, right? And representing them everywhere. That's fine. If every white person would be replaced in Lord of the Rings, these people wouldn't bat an eyelid, basically. So it's the same thing every single time. This is always the goal, right? There's been several other articles that detail this too throughout the years. Dear Tolkien fans, black people exist.
Well, great. You exist.
Do your
so
thing,
why do
then.
we have to put blacks in all of our stories? Just watch it and enjoy it if you're a fan.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's about they did this with Star Wars. They've done this with every successful
We can't have anything
franchise.
that is ours.
No, of
that's
course
the
not.
point.
The conversation.
And
was
if we
Tolkien
had
really
something
racist?
that's ours that's been very successful, they have to remake it and reimagine it with all these diverse characters.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have the other segment, of course, that people go and they complain on it, right? And now, we got to shut down the reviews, right? It's the same. The same
All
thing
those
happens with
racist
all
white
these stories,
supremacists
right? Yeah.
who didn't like it, right?
It's getting review bombed, they said here. This is a Hollywood Reporter. Review bombing is when a group of users post numerous negative reviews due to perceived cultural or political issues rather than actual quality. No, it's you're making it political because that's where you're replacing white people. So anyway, so they had to, shut it down for, let me see, I think Zero Hedge has it here. They had to shut it down for like 72 hours, I think, the Amazon reviews or something like that, just to try to control all the negative reviews. They claimed that it was record numbers watching.
25 million watched the first time. Well, yeah, they probably dropped in to see it. I did for review purposes, right?
Yeah.
But most people probably were just curious, or they thought it was going to be as cool as Peter Jackson's, and then they were highly disappointed.
I hope so. I hope it wakes up some people. Damn it, that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
They spent all this money, but it's nothing special. You could just feel the subversion coming through.
It doesn't work.
have any of that magic to it at all.
And some of the costumes, you can see that they've spent money on it, but it's obviously still not as good as
lacking.
the movies.
Yeah,
and so even the effects and the costumes or the masks that they wear and stuff is not as good. And I don't know. It's just. But the point is, what people have to remember. This is like a Germanic, Anglo, Norse kind of saga, really, that Tolkien, kind of laid out.
Very Euro-pagan.
Right, Silmarillion, that's he claims that he did research on the Kalevala, the Finnish epic, he took a lot from Norse mythology, even the language he created and stuff. It's our story. It's like a fictionalized version kind of our story. Some people even claim that there's, more to it than that, but we don't have to go that deep. This is prehistory of European ancient Indo-Aryans, basically, right? But anyway, even if that's true or not, it doesn't really matter. It become a symbol of our story, and it was successful. And so the point is, they gotta shit all over it. It doesn't matter if it makes money or not. It doesn't matter. It's about taking the whole Tolkien universe and then just smearing their shit all over it. That is what it's about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope it wakes up some people. It still doesn't destroy the older works. It's just there as an illegitimate spawn, I guess, a devil spawn of the beautiful original saga that Tolkien actually wrote.
And isn't it interesting how you can tell from the generations? You had Tolkien, and then you have his kids, and then the grandkids. It just gets progressively worse and more liberal.
Yep.
And then here's his grandkids helping sell the rights to this crap, and now it's perfect. It's better than Peter Jackson's. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
Do you know how much money actually Simon or some of the others
I don't know.
got
I
for the series?
I couldn't see that, but he was a consultant on it.
It's probably under wraps, the number of that, to be honest. I wonder how much of the 718 million was included of purchasing the rights.
It was.
That.
Yeah, I don't know how
was,
much.
yeah.
I don't know. A chunk of that, I'm sure.
But that shows you. If they had some spine and courage or some backbone, they would just not sell their father's work and not let this happen. But no, everyone has a price. But no, it sucks. Not a big surprise.
Do you love Red Ice? Want more? Get access to exclusive material by signing up for a Red Ice membership. You'll be able to watch Weekend Warrior, our flagship show, the second hour of interviews, and other special feature videos only for subscribers. Were you a member and we lost you along the way? Renew! We love and appreciate you guys and gals and cannot do this without you. Help us be a sane voice, a lighthouse in the sea of insanity. As times get tougher, as people are searching for answers, they're going to need content like Red Ice. A little of all your support can go a long way. Thank you.
Just like they've stolen all my other shit for the last 9 years. And then they're gonna fucking play pretend. Dude. Yeah, pretend that crap. Yeah, pretend that shit isn't fucking ugly. Or, as I put it, disgusting. But that's it for this one.